Hey everyone, Neen here from the Hyperactive Bookworm, here to do the reading and writing wrap-up for September. I'm a few days late, but life has been crazy. So September was insane. It was sickness, a new job, school holidays, lots going on. I only managed to read 5 books, but they were great books. For writing, I ended up putting actual writing on hold to finish the edits for Black as Day, which is the sequel to Cold as Hell, and that has been finished and sent off to the publisher. So we are so much closer to getting this amazing book out in the world. I'm so excited for it. I love this book. I was blown away when I reread it and the edits, and so many things that just clicked for me. And I feel like with everything I write, whether it's published or not, I'm learning more and more things are clicking, and I'm loving it. So that's been done, and that's uber excited. Black as Day is out in November 24th, so 7 weeks, I guess. Yeah, I think it's about 6-7 weeks. So that's really exciting. It's the sequel to Cold as Hell, and we get more into the characters that I loved in Cold as Hell, but then we also get introduced to more characters and more dynamics, and it is exciting. All right, now with reading, like I said, I did 5 books, but I loved them. So the first book I did was I Hope You Stay by Courtney Pepperell. It's one of her poetry collections, and a darling, wonderful friend of mine, Stone, actually lent me her paperback copy of this because poetry for me is such a tangible experience. Struggle to read it on devices. So it was so great, and it was perfectly timed. I needed the reminder of how to feel, how to enjoy life, and I love how Courtney Pepperell breaks up her poetry collections into sections that you really always know what you're diving into. I really enjoyed this collection. I loved the changes between a lot of the poems. I enjoyed that they weren't all from the same point of view or perspective, so they didn't just bleed into each other. My biggest issue with it is just a personal issue, and that's the formatting. Did my head in a few times and took me out of the poem, but that was just a few of them, and like I said, personal preference. All right, now the next book I read, the second book I read was Tangled Vows by Anna Stone. I listened to this book. It was my first Anna Stone book, and it was my first BDSM book as far as I'm aware. I'm pretty sure it's my first one. I really enjoyed the story. I enjoyed the characters. I expected to be more shocked by it, but I'm not sure if it's because it was a tamer BDSM or if it's just, I've lived a life. I really enjoyed it. I am looking forward to reading more Anna Stone books, so that was really good. I did love the narrator of it as well. I thought she was fabulous. All right, now the next book I read, oh my gosh. It was one of those books that you read, and even when you're not reading, you live it. You can't shake the characters or the story or anything like that. And it is Strange Attractors by Anna K. Wren. Now, Anna K. Wren, I have had the absolutely delicious opportunity and privilege of interviewing her, and I have put that video up. So if you haven't checked it out, I definitely recommend checking it out. There are some slight spoilers for the book, but it will not ruin, I don't believe it will ruin the experience of reading the book, because there's so much more in this book. It is a Sapphic thriller. So it's a Sapphic thriller fiction, and it is dark academia, and it is fabulous and fantastic and heartbreaking, and you love characters and you hate them, and you hate to love them, and you love to hate them, and they're fabulous. And I laughed and I chuckled and I had my heart broken time and time again. It is the iciest of ice queens, and Anna's way with words is just divine, absolutely delicious and divine. I just wanted to stay in that world of beauty, and the way she uses words is just beyond what I just loved it. And if you want to know what I'm talking about, am I gushing, am I fangirling, definitely check out the video, the interview I had with her, because even the way she speaks, her use of language and words is everything. All right, so the next book I read was The Long Way to a Small Angry Planet by Becky Chambers. I want to say I know I'm late to the party with reading this, but you know what? That's the best thing about books. You're never late. Books are there for when you need them, when they need you, and they are amazing. So this book I loved. It is an ensemble cast. It is sci-fi. It has every race that, like, it's just amazing. There are so many races and so different, and they're not all just humanoid with a few little things. They're so in depth, and the world building in this book is amazing. It is a series, the Wayfarer series, I believe, and I cannot wait to dive into the rest of these books. They are amazing. The language is beautiful that is used. The story is fantastic and wonderful. The characters, oh my gosh, I loved every single one of the characters. Even when you think you're going to hate a character, you get their perspective and you just kind of, you bond with them. And the ones that you do hate, you kind of enjoy hating anyway. And it's just amazing. There's so much in this book, and Becky Chambers, incredible. I cannot wait to read more of your books. The last book I read was Little Morsel by Rachel Renner and Alora Carter, and this book is beautiful. It is a kid's fantasy story. It's a one sitting read. It is hilarious and wonderful, with these touches on dark elements that I just think were done so well for a kid's book. They didn't hide behind it. They approached it. They let you know what it was, but it was still safe enough for kids to read. But also it was realistic, and it let kids see that, you know, we know that bad stuff happens to them, and they are around bad things, and as much as we hate it and we don't want it to happen, we're aware of it, and we want to give them that strength to believe in after the badness, to believe that there is more. And I loved that message in it. I also just loved the story itself. So it is about, in essence, Feral, who is a retired dragon who basically is just hilarious. His inner thoughts are fantastic. But a human child stumbles into his cave, and she reminds him how to live. Reminds him that he's actually not dead. And it is brilliant. It is so well balanced in this book, and I cannot wait. I really want to get a physical copy of this book so that in a year or two, when my kid's a bit older, I can read this to him, because I just think it is such a great book. And I love it. All right, so they're the 5 books I read in September, and I looked at them when I was going through to do the reviews, and I was like, wow, that's awesome. I love the eclecticness of the month. I did not read a lot, but I love that I read such a wide range of genres. So we have poetry, we have a children's book, we have a psychological thriller, we have a sci-fi, we have a BDSM. Like, I love that. I love it. And I do love these books. I am currently reading, I have started 3 books already, and I can't wait to review them for the October wrap up. Hopefully I will get time to do a little more individual reviews this month. At the moment, I haven't been able to do a lot of videos. As you can hear, I am still sick, but this is great compared to what I was. So I'm hoping to get some more videos done in October. I do have a few viewer questions that I do want to do some videos up if I get a chance. And I am going to be embarking on some more writing soon. I have 3 potential projects I can work on. One is a Secret Squirrel collaboration, which this is the very first time I've mentioned it because it's only just happened, but it probably won't be out for at least a year and a half, possibly 2 years. But I am excited about embarking on that one as well. I also have 2 of my own stories that I'm debating which one to dive into, either Forest Graveyards or Seeing You in Seasons. Seasons is pulling me a little more intensely at the moment, but we'll see how we go. Thanks so much for watching, y'all. Have a great one. Bye. Hey, it's me again, Neen Cohen, aka the Hyperactive Bookworm. I love being able to talk about books and writing and reading, and I love doing these. However, it does take me time and energy, and any support would be highly appreciated. If you like the videos, please don't be scared to hit like or to comment on them. All subscribers help toward keeping my passion projects going. You can also support me by buying me a coffee, and the link's down below. Thanks, y'all.